All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, this Rickey Smiley Unleashed. I know I talked about this before, and it's something that we just need to keep addressing and continue to have a conversation about is just talking about distancing yourself and keeping yourself out of abusive mental and physical situations with family members. You know, when you're born, you don't have an opportunity to choose who you want to be family. You know, they already there. And then the ones after you, they come. You don't get to choose them either. But you stuck with them because they family. And like I was explaining to one of my kids that's having some of the same issues with family members that I have, you know, one of the biggest pieces of advice I would give anybody is you don't grace people with your presence. You know what I'm saying? Just because they have a family reunion, that don't mean you got to go.
Okay.
You understand? You go and pick your auntie and your two cousins and people that love and respect you, Brett, and be around them, Eva.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be around. You don't have to go to a family reunion. If you know they don't like you and they talking about you, wow, what you going for?
Okay.
What you going over their house for Thanksgiving? Why you inviting them to your house? Only for them to sit at the dinner table and talk about you like a dog and complain about everything like two of my cousins did this Thanksgiving, who I poured the most resources into. Yeah, I'm throwing shade today. Ooh. And I don't care because I got a platform and I'm going to let you know how I feel, and I'm going to use my platform to help other people. It ain't about me because I handle it because I don't talk to them no more. And it's cool. You know, don't mean I hate them. I love them, and I wouldn't let nothing happen to them, and can't nobody else mess with them. I'll die. I'll probably give her one of my kidneys if she needed one. But I don't have to be around them. Negative and toxic people, man. Every family unit has a degree of dysfunction, but there's only so much dysfunction any person can take before compromising their mental health and stability. All right, so y'all, I posted that on RickeySmileyMorningShow.com. You can go and read the entire article. And I'm gonna tell y'all something else. The generation before us, they don't have the information. Your mama don't have the information that we have. Your mother and grandmother, they don't have the education that we have. You can get on the phone and you can look up and Google anything to try to figure some of this stuff out. They didn't have the information. What the generation before my generation did, they all got saved and gave their life over to God, which is nothing but a blanket to cover up everything, but they didn't get to the root of the problem. You can't cover everything up with God, you know, and they just don't know any better. We ain't mad at them. At least they cleaned themselves up and gave their life over to God. They go to church every Sunday because they didn't got older or whatever, you know, and everybody got to prepare themselves to go be with God or whatever, but nobody got down to the root of the problem. You can't have Jesus and not have Dr. Phil.
Come on.
Jesus created Dr. Phil.
All right.
And Ayana fixed my life. You got to get down to the root. When you get a root canal and that tooth is hurting, they don't just put a cap over the tooth.
You better preach.
They deaden and they go all the way down in it and pull the nerve out. And then they refill it and put the cap on it.
Right.
So you can't just go to church and cover stuff up.
Come on, Bishop Walker Jr.
Man, that's real talk. To God be the glory, and shouting all over the church because you've been in pain and you ain't really dealt with the pain. And I tell you, my family need to have a whole counseling session because the way I got treated in the family, they only treated me that way because they were hurt.
Right.
You know, that's why I ain't mad. You understand? I'm mad, but I ain't mad because hurt people hurt people.
Oh, that's right.
We got an alpha male in our family that has abused so many women in the family, you ain't even able to help them because they don't even know how to receive help because they've been abused by him. You understand? But nobody addresses it. But now that he's older, everybody, you know, hey, he's good. He gave his life over to the God. You know, but when is somebody going to sit down and talk about the abuse that you unleashed towards women in this family or whatever and expect people to move on just because you gave your life over to God?
Right.
You understand? I want everybody to understand. You need to start Googling this stuff. You need to go to counseling. You need to get and sit down and talk to somebody and get proper therapy if you can afford it. If you can afford to go to Jamaica, all y'all on Facebook in the DR, in Jamaica, going to the Bahamas, going on cruises, and you want to invest into your mental health and go to therapy and get help, Or get a counselor to come in and sit down and have family sessions and everybody pitch in $25. And sit down and address real issues. Have the conversation. You know, I don't hate nobody in my family. I ain't really mad at nobody. But, you know, one thing anybody can say about me, I'm firm, but I'm fair. And I don't mistreat people. And I wake up every single morning and do a self-check. God, if I'm wrong, show me that I'm wrong. If I've done anything wrong, show me where I can apologize and make good for it. But at the same time, I don't allow anybody to mistreat me. My grandmother didn't allow that. She didn't raise that type of person. So I want to encourage everybody, if your family ain't trying to go and get help and trying to get into a solution to fix the problem, then you need to create your own family. Everybody don't have to be blood related to you. I got Melissa down there in Daytona Beach, Florida. I got Brandon Connor in Birmingham. I got Georgette down there in Miami. I got Shelby Russian. I got Torn down in Miami. I have created my own family in my own comfort zone. People who I love, who I'm comfortable around, that respect me and treat me with love and respect. You do the same. You don't have to go around an auntie that don't speak to you. You don't have to go around cousins that talk about you.
All right.
Who only you help. Now, mind you, the people that you ain't never done nothing for don't ever have nothing bad to say about you. It's only the people that you've helped at some point.
So true.
Those are the only ones that talk about you and say disparaging things about you and hurt you because, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hurt people. Some of it is not their fault. Some of it fall off the generation before them. And boy, we quick to honor and bow down to the generation before us because they OGs. But yeah, you OGs only because you older. But there are some things that they done wrong that need to be corrected. Right. And the generation before them, my grandmother was the best grandmother in the world. But sometimes I question what kind of parent she was, because she didn't set boundaries for her sons. Mm-hmm. You understand? You got, you know, I'm just saying, I'm just talking about real stuff, and it might rub a lot of people the wrong way or whatever, you know, because, you know, my son, you know, 18, and he ain't finna be up in here long. Either you finna go to college, go get you a job, you gotta get up out of here. You're not gonna lay up in my house.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you know, and that's the generation before us because they simply didn't know any better. Grandmother only knew to love her sons, but they didn't have tough love.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So everybody out there, two things. Go and get therapy. Go and get all of this figured out. And the second thing, go and create a family and be around people that make you comfortable, that make you happy, that love you and support you. And this is not a hate message. This is a love message or whatever. And I use myself for example in my personal experience or whatever. And I study and I research and I talk to a therapist about all of this stuff to try to put it together to formulate this message for you. I want you to know that you are free. You are not a dog. There's a lady at your church that sends you a card and an email every week that you just pretty much ignore and just blow. Oh, Lord Jesus, why does lady keep emailing me Bible scriptures or whatever? You know, you can find, if you don't have a mother, there's somebody around, somebody at your church or at your job that would love to have you and your kids in their life. You understand? You know, value that relationship, build that relationship. If you don't have a father, there's an old man or an uncle or a cousin or older cousin or somebody that can be a father figure to you. But you have to be willing to be open to it and go out and find it and not just be set on the biological. Because whoever said that blood is thicker than water is the biggest lie ever been told.
That's right.
There are people, look at Brett. I dare you to say something about, and me and Brett, we argue. Yeah. We have our disagreements, but I promise you, I bet you can't say nothing about Rickey Smiley in front of Brett.
Not at all.
And I seen it with my own eyes, her take it to somebody or whatever and defending me one day. I'll never forget it. It put tears in my eyes. When I think about it, I was like, wow. And we don't even be on the same page all the time because we brothers and sisters. My sister for real. Same relationship with Eva, same relationship with Gary, Hair Crack, Rock T. We might disagree in here, but you can't mess with my morning show. I'll die for him because that's how I feel about y'all. You know what I'm saying? So take that message, man. Run with it. Go to RickySmileyMorningShow.com. Choose your family. Choose to be happy. Choose not to be mistreated. Go and get the therapy. Help your mama, help your grandmama, everybody that's been through stuff themselves. We're not blaming them today. They just didn't know to go get the help, and they don't understand stuff like that. But we know better because we have Dr. Phil and Ayana Fix My Life and CNN and all these shows that talk about therapy and why you should get help. You understand? I don't hate nobody. I don't hate nobody in my family. And I love my family, all of them. Even though we don't speak, I still love them because, hey, you know, that's just what it is. But I choose to be happy. So I choose to put people around me that make me happy.
Amen.
And Brad, you get on my nerves every day. Even you really get on my nerve with your previous self because you didn't tell nobody you're going to get the job, and then all of a sudden you come in here the next day, your stomach big. So all of this stuff just bothers me. Gary, you be dressing bad, all that stuff.
That makes you happy.
Yeah, whatever. But hey, man, I love y'all, man. I love everybody. I love my family. But I want everybody to be happy. God bless y'all, and I hope y'all take this message the right way. And go and get the therapy and get the help and go and find you some great people and build your own family and meet some new people and get loved on the right way. There it is, y'all. Rickey Smiley Unleashed. Gary T is up next.
Rickey Smiley Morning.